Hi folks, welcome to your mwis Planning Outlook in association with Ellis Brigham. Unsettled autumn conditions then dominating the next week or so as Atlantic low pressure systems sweep in across the British Isles. Frequent rainfall, heavy or torrential at times over the mountains, particularly in more western regions, and indeed on the higher mountains feeling more like winter as temperatures are close to freezing point with some snow at times which may lie temporarily, although at this stage nothing too much more than that. It's a windy picture throughout as well, with bouts of gales across the mountains. Not inspiring a great deal of cheer then at the moment, but let's have a look through the story and see how things progress day to day. I'll start off with a look through the freezing level chart, and you know it's almost winter when this chart comes back into our forecast thinking, and it will be drifting around the 1,000 metre to 1,200 metre mark at times in the days ahead. This is through Wednesday, around 1,200 metres or just below for a while. A warm sector comes in from the Atlantic on Thursday, so temperatures lift a little bit, although nothing particularly special, still a rather cool feel. And then by the time we get through to Friday, chillier air tucks in again from the northwest and dips the freezing level at least temporarily towards 1,000 metres over the Highlands, always a touch higher across England and Wales. For Saturday, it's again in the 1,000 metre to 1,200 metre range through the day, maybe just lifting a bit as time goes on. That again is lowest across Scotland, a bit higher across England and Wales, where all the mountains are generally above freezing point by a good few degrees. And by Sunday, you're looking to be around 1,300, 1,400 metres, so only the very highest tops around Ben Nevis just flirting with freezing point. Early next week as well, a similar story, cool at first, but then indications do go a little bit milder for a time. The synoptic charts then for the days ahead looking something like this. For Wednesday, we're in between weather systems really, as a brief ridge of high pressure just moves in across us, one weather system having cleared away eastwards from Tuesday, the next one for Thursday waiting in the wings. A few showers though coming in from the west as bits of old fronts are still around, these falling as some snow across the Munros in Scotland, a bit of hail maybe mixed in at times as well, becoming a bit more scattered and fewer of them toward the east throughout the day, a scattering of brief showers across England and Wales, but some bright skies, some cloud breaks, some sunshine in there. Rather a chilly feel though, with temperatures on the mountains lower end of single figures pretty widely across the country, the wind strength just coming down a bit through the day. For Thursday, fronts are moving their way across the country with some rain and some showers in the forecast pretty widely, some more persistent rain around that frontal zone as it comes through across England and Wales, pulses of showery rain setting in at times across the western mountains in Scotland as well, a little bit more broken up further eastwards and northwards across the Highlands, but some showers at times nevertheless coming through here. Temperatures are a touch higher, so it will be rain up to the highest summits by Thursday. A windy day for many, touching gale force at least for periods across most higher mountains, and cloud shrouding the hills throughout much of the day. Best of any breaks toward the eastern side of Scotland. Messy looking weather chart for Friday. Low pressure system is in charge once again. Another cold front sweeping eastwards with some heavy or torrential falls of rain at times across the mountains in England and Wales. Some areas of persistent rain too for Scotland. Detail is a little bit sketchier by this time, but you'll do well if you stay dry for any length of time through Friday. Temperatures then coming back down once that cold front has gone through, so dipping away close to freezing point again on those highest summits in Scotland. Wind speeds will vary throughout the day, again detail is a bit uncertain, up to gale force for a time, maybe a bit of a lull, then following that main rain band as it goes eastwards across England and Wales. Nothing of a sustained lull, it must be said, as we head onwards into the weekend, because low pressure again comes in from the Atlantic and a further frontal system moves in. Some further heavy rainfall looks to be focused across England and Wales, maybe southwest Scotland too, running northeastwards but breaking up a bit more as that rain crosses the Highlands, so not too much towards the far north and the east. A windy picture once again, the risk of gales across many higher mountains, and extensive cloud shrouding most higher areas. Best breaks toward the east and the north. Temperatures again are well down to the lower end of single figures for many, warmest of any values around 5 or 6 degrees across the tops in Wales. A generally cool west by northwesterly flow into Sunday, again very tricky with the detail, but expect some showery rain to be around, maybe something a bit more organised as little centres of low pressure spin around the main low, which does seem to be moving away toward the east, so a chance that Sunday is perhaps something a bit drier and brighter in there at times. Temperatures then will be on the cool side once again. A cool and unsettled story then takes us into the start of next week as well, and then we're watching the progress of a powerful hurricane that's currently out over the Atlantic, because at least indirectly that will have some influence on our weather patterns. It just appears on this map then by Monday of next week. It's Hurricane Sam, and that will be moving close to Bermuda in the next few days, and then tracks into the North Atlantic, goes into a post-tropical system and transitions into a deep area of low pressure over the North Atlantic, as these things often do at this time of year. Ahead of that gets pushed to a zone of higher pressure, and just how far that high gets in towards us will then dictate just how well we do in terms of any improvement for next week. It looks as though that storm system goes more away towards Iceland, so it doesn't directly affect us, but it does draw in a much milder, even warm feeling southwesterly tropical maritime flow as we head onwards through the middle of next week. There could still be some fronts trailing across west and northwest Scotland to give some rainfall quite frequently here, something a bit drier further south and east as high pressure attempts at least to build in. It could be with the humidity in the atmosphere that western coastal hills, even around the Irish Sea, struggle with low cloud, best of drier and clearer conditions further north and east, but at the very least expect the temperatures to be quite a bit milder through next week. Not quite convinced we genuinely get into anything truly settled, because that area of low pressure over the North Atlantic is still near enough to have some influence, but I think across England and Wales at least, and probably eastern Scotland, a run of drier days would be believable. It all just depends then on the final movements of that hurricane and how much any high pressure just has a go at building for a few days next week. We shall watch those developments as always. That's your planning outlook in association with Ellis Brigham. Thanks for watching today. Bye for now.